Hey everyone, I'm Allison and you're watching Long Island Thrifter. Today I'm giving you an update on my 3 shelves. Let's dive in. Earlier this year, I filmed a video about a shop called Found Vintage and Antiques in Seaford, New York. I love this shop so much, and I still do. It's wonderful. But when I got in there, I thought it was a regular vintage and antique shop. It wasn't until I was walking around for a while and I was speaking with the owner that I realized what they called it. It was a vendor-supported shop, i.e. an antique mall. So there were a bunch of different vendors who were renting space, but there was such a cohesiveness to the shop. It felt like more of a retro antique shop that it's just beautifully curated. So it didn't feel like there were a bunch of different vendors in there. And I was so excited about it that I was like, I want in. I asked them about space and I started with my 3 shelves. At the end of this video, I'll add a link so you can watch that video if you haven't seen it already. So today, I'm gonna give you an overview of how each month went. I thought I could give it 6 months, starting in July and ending at the end of December, thinking that probably the 4th quarter I would do a lot better. To my surprise, the numbers were kind of all over the place. I wanted to go through each month and tell you, first of all, where I was originally in the shop, which was a smaller room, straight back. I was against the wall, so when you walked in, you could see my 3 shelves straight ahead. I didn't love the location. I really wanted to be in a different room, so I did ask the owners that if anything opens up in another room, please let me know, and they did. But for my first 3 months, I was in this room. So starting in July, the rental is $25 per shelf, and I had 3 shelves. So $75 a month was my rent, and in July, I made nothing. No one bought anything. Nothing. It was not a good month. Then in August, again, paying $75 for rent, I sold $45 in items. So yeah, I'm still in a deficit there. And then in September was my first really good month. I was still in that room. My rent was $75, and in the store, I made $160. That month, on September 1st, they had their grand opening celebration and they had a vendor flea market out in the parking lot. So that meant any of the vendors that were inside paying rent on space inside the store could have a table in the parking lot for free. So I was definitely gonna get rid of some stuff there and try and sell some more. So at the flea market, I only made $107, but hey, it was $107. So I was happy about that. So September was a good month. October, I moved to a different location and a different configuration, which the owners charged me $85 a month for. So I'm up $10 a month on my rent, but I felt like I had a much better layout. For $85 in October for my rent, I sold $36. Not a good month. And then November, again, $85 for my rent. I sold $157 in the store. And then there was another flea market on Veterans Day that the store had. And I sold, and I gotta put my glasses on for those. I sold $68 in merchandise. So it was for my sister and I, we sat at the table. We didn't really sell much of anything that day. So it was a beautiful day to be out though. We were really lucky. It was November 11th and it felt like the summer. It was like almost 70 degrees, which we were lucky. September and November were my 2 best months. And then we come to December, which I thought, yeah, I have Christmas stuff. I've got I got ornaments I made. Merry Thriftmas. Long Island Thrifter, 2 were sold. I had 20 there. I have a lot of extras and a lot of family and friends got ornaments for Christmas. December, $85 for my rent, and I sold $109 worth of merchandise. Total, taking all of the rental fees, that totaled for the 6 months, $480. And then what I sold just in the store during that time period was $507. And then the flea market revenue was $175. All that together was $682 minus the rent. My big net was $202. So the $202 I made doesn't even include the cost of some of the items I did buy at thrift stores throughout the last 6 months. I feel like I broke even. That's the way I felt. I don't think I spent $200 on items, but I know that it's going to be less. So given my time, my energy, and the cost of goods, I probably broke even. That's the way I feel. My thoughts on this. My thoughts are, I don't know if I brought in the wrong stuff. I changed things out frequently. I displayed them nicely on display stands. The location of where I was originally in the shop to where I was later, I don't know. Like, look, 1 month where I was in the old spot, I did great. And 1 month where I was in the new spot, I did great. So you just don't know what's gonna sell. Things that I thought would not sell, I just brought there because I just was like, well, why not? The fuggliest vase you've ever seen sold. I never would have thought that. I had it on eBay for years and I took it down finally because no one was gonna buy this thing. But they bought it in the store. And by the way, it was kind of on the bottom shelf in the back. I was like, yeah, no one's gonna buy that. Let me just put it back there. And one day I walked in, I'm like, where's the vase? And one of the owners was like, somebody bought it. And I'm like, you're kidding. You know, I don't know if it was the merchandise I was carrying. There were certain things that I thought would sell in an instant and then other things that just never sold. Would I do it again? Yes. I love this shop so much. I think Beverly and Laura, who are the owners, are fantastic at what they do. They've created a beautiful, beautiful shop. I shop there. I bought things at the holidays for family and friends. I just don't think that this business model was for me. When I signed the contract with them, they just asked that if you decide to leave, to give them a month notice. So at the end of November, I made the call that it was time. Instead of going deeper into the hole, I decided to give notice. And then on December 29th, I went in and I cleared out my space. It was a really great experience. I loved meeting all the people that also have space there. That shop was like the first time I was ever recognized for my channel, which was so crazy. A couple times in the shop, people were like, I came here because of you. I watched your videos. So that was really special. That was really nice. And all of the folks that I met were really terrific. And I really appreciate that. It was very fun. I thought I'd give it a shot for 6 months, see how it went. And, you know, it just came down to dollars and cents. That was it. Thanks for watching Long Island Thrifter. If you enjoyed this video, please tap the like button, and if so inclined, please subscribe. And I think you're going to enjoy one of these videos next. Keep on thrifting.